So I'm about to go on a trip. It's almost that time of year to go back to deer camp. There's a group of guys going up. We're going to be working on our trail going into camp. It's horrible. It's hard to walk on. It's hard to drive on. When you carry stuff into camp, you constantly drop stuff and it's really, really muddy and wet. So we're gonna be going up and we're gonna make a pathway to get to the camp. I'm going up a day earlier because I plan on doing some things that don't involve the other guys, and I'm not gonna ask them to do something that I'm interested in doing and trying to do on my own. So I'm going up tonight. I leave tonight. It's about a 8-hour drive to get to the city that I'm staying in. It's a 7-hour drive, something like that. And then it's another hour to camp tomorrow. I'm gonna take my inflatable boat so I can do some fishing. So I'm gonna set that up real quick.
That looks like my tires, man.
That is your tire.
Yeah, I've been looking all over. I ain't low for it.
Oh, you're such a liar, Ed. I got my little boat I'm about to blow up and make sure there's no holes and stuff in it. I haven't used it in 2 years. But a boat.
A boat?
Yeah, it's in the back of my truck. I replaced my batteries in my boat this year. So I have my old battery, which still has power, still works. It just wasn't lasting as long as I wanted to. And then I got this trolling motor at a garage sale. I don't know if it works, but we're about to test it out real quick on this battery. Yep. That'll get me around the lake. I got oars on it too. I gotta bring that in here and blow it up and then make sure there's no holes in it. That wasn't easy, but it's done. So we're at camp, or I'm at camp. I'm 2 days late. I'll explain later. I am about to drive in. I'm by myself and go in and weed whack so me and everybody else gets here. It'll be nicely groomed, I guess. I gotta get my razor out of this. It's just packed. This is gonna take me probably 2 or 3 trips. So yesterday coming in, took us about 5 trips to get our stuff here. Most of the material we brought in is to fix this trail, but it was a lot of work. It pretty much took the entire day just to get the stuff here. On the last trip, I was in and out of the camp 5 times, and on the last trip, I got a flat tire. The plug that I put in it from last year somehow came out. I'm about to try to throw another plug in it real quick and see if I can get some air. I got a hand pump that I was pumping air, and when I would pump the air, I could hear it coming out the hole, so hopefully the hole's not too big. Oh, you. Yeah, I put the salt black down and a big spider jumps off of it. Oh. Oh. I know. Last year in the spot right here, I put a salt block. I think 4 deer were shot here in this exact spot. As you look at it, you see they're still tearing at it. They're still eating at it like it's still here. It's gone. I got a couple more, and I'm about to dig a hole and put them in there, and then I'm gonna put this bale of hay around it. But the main thing with the salt block, the one thing I've learned over the years, and I saw it on a hunting show a long time ago, so I'm not taking credit for this, but passing along the knowledge, I should say. The key to a good salt block is burying the block. So get it so it's as close to flush with the ground as possible. And then as rain comes in, it soaks all those minerals into the ground, and obviously the deer eat it up. As you see how big this area where the salt block is, where how big it was tore up. That's like a 6-foot area. Down at my grandparents, it's the same way. I haven't put a salt block there in 2 years and it's just still getting tore up. I'm at the second spot. Right here's my brother's blind right there. He built this mini mansion out in the middle of the wilderness and I don't think anybody has seen a deer in that blind. I already dug a hole for this salt block. I put 2 here in the last 2 years. I put the block down at this end and they dug all this out. So all of this was dug out by the animals. The rain will push those minerals down from that salt block into that little hole and it'll keep hitting that. They just won't do it when Eric's hunting. I saw these 2 apple trees for sale and I bought them. Figured I'd give it a try to plant them up here. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but you know, apples attract deer. I don't know, it's worth a try, I think. Apples attract deer. We eat the crap out of them when we bring them here. That's the last salt block. I gotta bury it a little bit. Just kick the dirt in the hole. Oh, so good. Today is going to be my first unboxing. Never done an unboxing before. I'm doing a trail camera and I figured the best place to do it is where I'm going to use it. So I'm out in the woods. I am in the UP. We had to make some adjustments to our deer camp and get it ready for the November hunt. It is September. It's hot. We didn't expect it to be this hot, which is kind of why we scheduled this for September, but it's pretty hot. It's muggy. And I'm going to do this anyway, so I'm going to sweat all over this thing. So we're doing the Spypoint Link W. I thought this was a Spypoint Evo. I hope it's the right camera. I don't know. But I'm going to set it up today. Hopefully I'll get some shots on it tomorrow before we leave. Get some shots on it tonight. We'll get this thing set up. So I'm going to unbox it real quick. Yeah, let's just get to it. The clip holder, the product hanger. There we go. I don't know how to do these unboxing things. Alright, so it comes with the camera. Pretty simple, looks like. We'll get to that a little bit more detail in a second. And then looks like this is a bracket to help you get it attached to a tree. I don't know. Some kind of bracket, the belty thing. So the reason I got this is because it has Verizon signal. We're at deer camp, we're in the middle of nowhere, and Verizon is the only company that has good signal. I used to have AT&T, I just switched to Verizon. When I had AT&T, I would get signal in like 2 different spots. One was about a mile away, I had to walk that way, and then the other one is all the way in the back, but I had to climb the tree about 20 feet before I actually got signal. So I never had signal. The reason I got this Spypoint camera and it has Verizon service, 4G service. I'm going to open this manual real quick, do the whole getting started. I'm just going to set this camera up with you guys. So that's how you get the back open. Got it? So there's the back. Load it with batteries. First things first on the list is the batteries, so we'll just do the batteries real quick. So it takes 8 AA batteries. Close that back up. Got it. There we go. Now it opens up. Let's see what the signal strength is here. 2 bars. Magic 2 bars. Alright. So I got the Spypoint app. If you can't tell, I'm sweating really, really hard. Sorry about that. I'm dirty. I've been out here working. I have the Spypoint app. I'm going to go to that real quick. We're going to turn this camera back on. Activate new camera. Model. Link W. Next. Oh, of course, after I put all in all those batteries, I have to take out the batteries. So, let's do that real quick. Alright, there's my first complaint. The thing to scan this should be not behind the batteries, but where the picture of the batteries is. So we're going to scan. So 89445. I couldn't get the scan, so right now I'm typing in the numbers. So I'm having some problems. It tells me I need to log in, but it didn't have me make an account. It had me put in my email address, but it never asked for a password. So, and there's no link to sign up. Oh, got it. I got a text from Spypoint, and in the text they sent me my password. I do have an account set up. I just did not know because I didn't look at my text. So I was having a problem getting it to connect. It was because I put in the wrong SIM number. Now it's working just fine. I got it set up. I was able to go in here, and then I could just add a new camera here, as you see on my screen. I got the batteries in, everything's right. I was able to add a second camera, and even though it's really my first camera, but it's the second camera to the app. I'm going through it here. We got the settings. It looks like we got basic. You can just do photos, time-lapse video, camera name. We'll call this the China Hutch, because that's where it's going to be going, down by the China Hutch. We're going to go out and we're going to put this up in the woods, and then I'm going to come back to camp. And then what I'm going to do is, over the next couple days, as I get pictures, I'll put those in the video. So I probably won't put this video up for a couple days. You guys won't know that, but I'm gonna go put this out by some salt blocks and hay I put out. Hopefully I get some stuff by the morning. If I don't get anything, I'm probably gonna just take it back. I know this isn't the newest one. I thought this was the newest one. The newest one I believe is called the Evo, and I thought that this was an Evo, and it's not. We're gonna see if this works. I'm gonna take it out and put it up right now, and then see if we get any pictures later. I'm setting the camera up now. I'm gonna put it up on this tree right here. The bale of hay and the salt block is directly behind the camera. When I set up a camera, I like to put it up high and have it angled down. It is pointed right at. So the other thing I like to do is I'll try to tie the strap around the tree so it's not flapping in front of the camera all the time. So on the bottom of this here, it has a 12-volt connection. It has a 12-volt connection. This is the infrared, or whatever it is, light. And then the sensor's right here, and the camera's obviously in the middle. This will show the signal. So that pops on. And then right now it's just showing that it's on. There you go. We got 2 bars of signal here, so not a whole lot. Not real great signal right here, but and then it's only sending photos, so it's not like it's sending like really big videos or anything like that to my phone. The red light is a 30-second delay, so I need to put this camera up within 30 seconds. I'm obviously not going to make it over there in time. And then once the camera's off, it is on. It is ready to go. It's going to take a picture. And we'll check the phone. So we just got pictures. As you look here, it just sent me a picture of me standing in front of this camera, or kneeling in front of this camera, and looking at the phone. So it's looking at you and looking at the phone. I'm about to go back to my office, and I'm going to go through the settings and show you guys how to change the settings and so on with the camera. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm in the office, and I'm about to go over these features in the app for the camera that is left there because it did survive. It did make it through the night with taking pictures, and I'm very happy about that. I'm gonna open the app right now, and then right from the top, I can go to the top, I can select which camera I want to use or what camera I want to go over. And with this camera, I have 2 set up, even though there's not a second camera. It's just, when I was setting it up, I put in 1 extra number for the serial number, and then I messed it up. But I don't know how to take that off. But if you did have multiple cameras, it's very simple. You just go up to the top, you click that, and then you click the camera you want. So let's go over the plans real quick. You got 4 different plans. You got a free plan, which you get 100 images a month, and then you'll be able to see those images for 7 days on the app, and then you have basic access to the website. Now I don't know, I haven't went over the website yet to see what is on it. There's a 12-month annual plan for $5 a month, which is really inexpensive, and then you get 250 images a month, and then those images are the same. They last 7 days. And you have basic access to the website. You have a 12-month plan, which is $15 a month. The 12-month plan comes out to $180 a year. You get unlimited photos. You have unlimited photo history, so the images will just stay into your app. And then you have full access to the My Spypoint website. They have a 3-month plan, so it's a hunting plan. It's $25 a month. But it's still drastically cheaper than the $180 plan for the entire year. So it's $75 for a 3-month plan. Now, If you plan on using it in 2 different seasons, so say you want to use it for turkey season in the spring and you want to use it for deer hunting in the fall or any other kind of season depending on where you are, maybe the yearly plan would be better. You know, if you try to use it in 2 different separate hunting plans, then it'd be, you know, $150 for 2 times a year anyway, so you might as well just pay the extra $30 and get the whole rest of the year. Both those plans are the same. You get unlimited photos transferred to your phone, and then you get to keep an unlimited amount of images to your phone, plus you get full access to the website. So from there, we're gonna go from the accounts to the status page. And basically what this is it shows the meters on your camera. Right now I have 3 out of 5 bars, which is pretty good for, it's a Verizon signal, and that is actually really good because I think we're 20 miles away from the closest town, 15 maybe, I'm not real sure exactly, but it's not close. It shows I got 62% battery life on my 12 volt, which is a solar panel made by Moultrie that I have hooked up to the camera, and it detects that it's a 12 volt getting the energy to the camera and making it work. And then I have 1% of my SD card being used. With 1% in the last 4 days, I will say that when I hooked the 12 volt up, it had 37% battery power, and now it has 62%. So even though it's giving me 127 images, plus it's been taking video, it hasn't really drained the battery at all. I mean, with the solar panel, it's gonna get more and more, but I think it went up from like 37 to 52, and now it's at 62%. I don't know how much sun it's getting, but it was the sunniest area I could find in the woods. Down here you go a little bit more, you got general information, you got the model of the camera, you got the version of software it's using. The last communication was 5:30 this morning, 5:25. The number of pictures it's taken is 127, and that just shows for the entire month. It was 46 degrees when it took the picture, and I'm not really sure what the last installation is. I assume that is a software update, but I don't really know. And then it shows the battery type, whether it's the AAA lithium battery pack you can buy for the camera, or if it's the 12 volt. And they have multiple 12 volts that I can hook up to. You can hook up to the camera. I was lucky enough to have a Moultrie already that I used on the cameras from the year before. And then it shows the SIM number. From there, we're gonna go from status to settings. Now this is the camera settings, and like I said here, you can go up and you can change between cameras. And we're gonna go to basic. So basic is basically the mode that we want to shoot in. For me, I got it set up with video. So it's taking videos and it's recording those videos to the SD card, but it will not send you video over transmission. And then I got a 1 minute delay. You can go down, so in the modes you can go to, you got photo, time lapse, and video. I have mine set up to video. For delay, you can go anywhere from, I don't really know what the instant is. It seems like that'd take a lot of pictures, but yeah, I don't know why you would want instant. I assume that's for the video, so it just keeps recording till the animals leave. I wouldn't want that. I got 10, you can go 10 seconds, 1 minute, all the way up to 30 minutes. So I guess if you have an area where it's like, if you have a feeder and a deer just constantly there and you don't want to take up a whole bunch of your SD card, you know, you can set all the way out to 30 minutes between pictures being taken. And then here you can choose between photo first or photo after the video. So this is when you have the video mode and maybe time-lapse mode. I don't really know. I'm never going to use time-lapse, so I'm not even going to look into it. I'm sorry for the people that do want to use the time-lapse, but I have no interest. Photo first basically is if you wanted to take a picture before the video starts, or if you want to take the picture after the video is done. And for me, I think it's more important, since I'm 400 miles away, that I'm going to do the photo first, so I at least see the image of what animal is in front of the camera at that moment when the image is being taken. At the end of the, you know, if I shoot it after a video, the video is anywhere between 10 seconds and 90 seconds long. You know, that animal could have walked out of the screen and it's just gonna send me an image of a blank forest. And then here, right here, you got the video lengths between 10, 30, 60, and 90 seconds. And then you can name your camera. So I named mine China Hutch because that is the blind that we have the camera in front of. So from there, we're gonna go to Cellular Setup. Now, I don't like how they have this set up. I think that the transfer frequency should be on top. And we're gonna click that real quick. So basically what this is how often you want the images from the camera to be sent to your phone. Now, if you don't have a solar panel or an external 12 volt, then you would want it to be set, you know, between 1 and 12 times a day, because otherwise it's just going to drain those AA batteries that are inside the camera. For me, I have the 12 volt hooked up, so I have no problem just having a picture every time one is taken. From there, if you were to set the camera up, sending pictures, say, just 2 times a day. So basically you could go in here and you would be able to set up the camera for, I want it to be sent to me at 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. That'll be the first time. Then the second time would be 8:30 at night. So basically with this, if I have it set up to where it's sending me images twice a day, and let's say I don't get an image for like 2 days, I can hit to take a photo at the next transfer. So when the server reaches out to the camera to say, hey, send me some images, it's going to take a photo, and then at least you'll know that the camera's working. And when it shows, when you know that the camera's working, you're like, okay, well, there's just no animals out there. And then here you can change the, how it's set up. If you want date, want the year. If you want date, year. I don't really know. Time format, 12 hours or 24 hours. I think the 12-hour difference is one's military time, one's citizen time. I don't know. What do you even call the other time? Temperature units. So, for me, I live in Michigan. We use Fahrenheit. And then night mode boost. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to act like I know what this is, but it shows optimal or boost. I assume it has to do with the LEDs that are in it, but I don't really know. And then it shows here the battery type. So I don't know if I can change what batteries I want it to use. It looks like I can. I'm going to stick with the 12 volt because the 12 volt seems to be working, and it's solar powered, so it's not going to lose any energy. And then right here you got your schedule. You can actually set your camera when you want it to run. So if you don't want it to run at night because you can't hunt at night anyways, you can just run and see what deer are walking in front of your stand or what animals that you're hunting are walking in front of your hunting area during the day. And so you can set it for 7 days a week. You can change the times and when you want it to run. This is also, I think this is also a security feature. If you set this up at a place where you work, on Saturdays, you work 8 to noon, you can set your camera to work from noon till 8 o'clock the next day or whatever. I think that's more for a security feature thing, not a hunting thing. And then it looks like here you can report the camera stolen. I don't know what that does either. I assume that it makes it so the camera doesn't work. And then you got default settings. When you click that, it basically cancels all the information that you put into it and just goes back to the default settings that came with the camera when it was plugged in. And then it shows here, disable buck tracker. I have to look this up, but based on the name, buck tracker, I think this basically just does like facial recognition. And so when a certain buck shows up, it will tell you. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up and see what this actually is. We're gonna go from the settings to the photos page. And right up at the top, it shows you have 4 filters. You have the star, which is basically your favorite photos, images you've saved as favorites. You have your buck, your doe, and then the turkey. So when you go to star, these are images I just clicked earlier just to make sure that it actually works. But these are 4 images, or 3 images that I starred earlier. And then we're gonna X out of there. And then from there, you got the buck filter. And now I actually haven't got a picture of a buck yet. I've only got a picture of this doe, but if you zoom in on the image, you can see it has these 2 little trees popping up that kind of look like antlers, and I can understand how it would fool artificial intelligence to present this as a buck. And then from there you got does, and you got does, and then this is just filled up with does. Obviously everything isn't correct on this, but it's still a good filter. It makes things easy. And then you got the turkey. So the turkey, of course, I have to show up as the turkey. Whatever, it is what it is. And turn this off, and then also you can select multiple filters. So you can do bucks and does at the same time. If you don't want to look at a bunch of turkeys, which actually at the other farm, there's so many turkeys, that would be nice to not have to look at turkeys. And then from there, you can just click on an image, and then you can star it, trash it, or send it to somebody. So if you click here, you can message it to somebody, mail it, save the image, and then exit out of there. And then the one cool thing is right after I left camp, this right here is this wolf. It showed up on camera not too long after I left camp, and that's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. And then here on the last page, you got the help. So you got frequently asked questions, and you can go to your specific camera that this app works with. You got live support. You can go down here, click a question or whatever, and it shows here that it works between 8:30 and 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then you got your help videos for a couple different cameras. And that's pretty much it. That's it for the app. I think the app is really easy to use. It's really nice because you can see how well the camera's holding up. I like it. I think it's a really good, easy to use unit, and so far I've been really happy. So that's it for that camera. I was going to do a second unboxing of this Link Dark, which is a little bit different of a camera. It uses the same technology, but there's a couple differences. The one that I have set up in the UP, it is 10 megapixel and it uses a different type of LED. It's a little bit slower. The one up in the UP is a half second, and this says 0.07 seconds, so it's like it's less than a tenth of a second. This is the trigger speed on this camera. That's what it says. To me, that seems impossible. It seems impossible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Spypoint. I don't believe you, but that's what it says. The other thing with this camera here is it actually has a viewer set up right here, so you can actually see the images. So say for some reason you didn't want to use the cell signal, or you just didn't have signal where you were, you could check the images that are on the camera without having to pull the SD card. Plus, it looks like you can go through the features on this camera. And that was the one thing I noticed when I opened this camera. I didn't like that. I didn't like that it didn't have a screen, even if it was just a small LED screen where I could change the settings. I don't like that about this, but so far the cameras work fantastic, so I kind of forgot and don't really care. But as I'm setting it up in the middle of the woods, it's nice to have those features where you know you're getting everything set up, you can do the test and all that stuff, and be happy and ready to go. I'm going to set this up tomorrow out at the farm that I hunt at. In a couple days, I'm actually going to do a little bit more of a thorough review of the two cameras, see how well I really like them. Plus, I'm going to pull images right off the SD card of this one so that I can see how the image quality is. Now, the image quality is going to be a little bit different between the two cameras. This is 12 megapixel, this is 10 megapixel. So this will have a little bit better image quality than the camera that I have in the UP. But as far as video goes, it's exactly the same. It shoots 720p and you can shoot between 10 and 90 second long videos. I'm really happy with the camera that's in the UP so far. It'll be nice to see a second camera going and see how well it does too, especially where I'm going to be at, where I'm going to set this camera up. There's going to be a lot more activity. So seeing how well this does when there's a lot of activity, plus I got another 12 volt solar panel I'm going to hook up to this one. It'll be interesting, and I'm hoping to give a really good review. When these cameras first came out, I was excited because I like the idea of having a cellular camera and it works on, over the internet, and you can just get images to your phone, and I like that idea. I thought it was great, and I just kept reading reviews, and all the reviews said it was so great. Then when I looked into it, all the reviews seemed to be from Spypoint. They weren't actual reviews. They were just people that were getting paid or whatever, worked for the company, and they were just leaving reviews all over these different websites because they all said the exact same thing. They all went way too in detail with the specs and stuff like that. I was like, that's not real. In the last year or so, I've started to see reviews where it's verified purchases, and I've been seeing good reviews. So I decided to bite the bullet and try the camera out. So far, in the 4 or 5 days that I've had this camera set up, I've been really happy. And that's it. Thanks for watching again. Comment down below, hit that like button, and subscribe. I'm gonna do more stuff like this as often as I can and as often as I can afford it, I guess. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I gotta go.